Hello, good evening. Oh, who's this young lady here? Oh, I don't know her. Hello, Liz. You alright?
Hello, I'm all right. You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. You got to be, ain't you? Hey, hey.
Yeah.
How's your week been so far?
Busy. Been quite
Yeah,
busy. Yeah. Putting
yeah.
programs together for people. So yeah, it's been good.
You're a busy woman, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
know. Yeah,
that way. It keeps me out of mischief.
yeah. Anyway, we won't go there. Um, I'll tell you what I wanted to talk about. Until like around about 2 hours ago, I didn't know what to talk about. But then something popped up, and I saw on the news, or was it on Sky, about meals in the supermarkets. About
Okay.
yeah, about the slimming meals in the supermarkets, and do they work? Because with Slimming World, everything's out there at the moment in the supermarkets, like Slimming World this, Slimming World that.
Mm.
Not just Slimming World, but all slimming foods and stuff.
Yeah.
And all the milkshakes and stuff like that. And I know, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just asking, does it work?
Okay. The unfortunate thing is, with anything to do with slimming, it's still only based around calories. It's calorie restricted. But the quality of the food isn't being taken into consideration. That's the problem. Now, they will work if you are on a diet of 3,000 plus calories a day and you reduce your calories down to, say, 2,000 a day. Over a period of time, you are going to lose weight, but it won't be easy,
Mm,
because these foods, the slimming foods, still allow foods or still contain the foods which contributed to weight gain in the first
yeah,
place. So they're not addressing the number one, they're not addressing habit, and number two, they're not fixing the cravings which come from the contents, or from the food items that are included in these meals. So for example, you could have a low calorie, low fat lasagna, but the fact that it's got pasta in it, even if it's whole grain, that pasta is going to raise your blood sugar. And that's the problem in itself, because all the while you have high blood sugar, your body releases insulin to bring that blood sugar down. And it's a
mm,
natural response, but then you end up, your blood sugar's too low, you don't have the energy, and it will drive your body to crave sweet foods again, or those kind of foods, to bring your blood sugar back up.
oh
So
yeah.
that's why you end up on a roller coaster ride with these foods, regardless of how many calories are in them. And it's the cravings that drive you to consume food, because you're not hungry, but
Mm,
something inside is telling you to eat more food.
mm,
That's the
yeah.
problem.
The trouble is, you see, the supermarkets are making so much money at people at the moment. Because people are they're obese, and we live in an obesity society, and they're making so much money in the supermarkets. I
Yeah,
think one supermarket was nearly making 50 million on this event. That's what I was reported. Now, whether that is true or not, I haven't got a clue. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're losing weight and you're going to a supermarket and you go to the fridge freezer and you look in and you go, right, what am I going to have today? Oh, I'll have a roast, and because that says it's got slimming on it. But what they don't realise is, as you've been saying, it's the calories.
well, it's the quality of the calories,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
quality rather than the
yeah,
quantity. I mean, the diet and fitness industry is still spouting on about calories, full stop. Well, it's more to it.
yeah.
Calorie counting does work in a sense, but it's not easy. Whereas if
No.
you change the quality of the calorie, That makes all the difference, because by changing the quality, you by default take out the foods which keep those cravings keep driving them cravings. And that's the problem. If you've got a really bad diet, yes, it can help lower your calorie intake, but it doesn't address the cravings. And there's a lot of health issues as well with refined sugars and refined grains like breads, pasta. That isn't being taken into consideration either, and it's very unlikely to ever. It's been brushed under the carpet because of the big food companies. Go on.
Sorry, go on. No, you go on. Go on.
I was just going to say the diet and fitness industry and the slimming industry is raking it in. And all the while they're getting people to eat these foods, and it's driving cravings. They're selling more food. It's like a hamster wheel, and it's unfortunately it's never going to change anytime soon. Hello, Hayley. Okay, so your breaded scampi, that isn't going to bode too well because of the bread. It's going to raise your blood sugar. The scampi itself, fantastic. Garden peas can actually raise your blood sugar, but it's certainly not as much as bread. And even if your scampi was oven baked, lower in fat, bang, sugar, blood sugar spikes still as well. That's the problem. With all of us are being misled about food. Eat this, it's low calorie. Eat that, it's low fat.
Who do we believe? Who do we believe? Who do we believe?
Well, it's difficult. Unless you do your own research, it's difficult because the the doctors, they're not nutritionists. They don't realize. And I think they only have about 4 hours of nutrition training. So your doctors can't tell you because they really don't know the ins and outs unless they've done their own homework as well. Even nutritionists, even if you get a nutritionist, he or she might still be a little bit behind the time and not realize how bad these foods actually are.
Because everybody's at certain levels, isn't they? People BMI is over a certain amount. Mine is. Other people. What gets me is when people say to me, or I hear on TV or whatever it is, when people say, right, after Christmas, it's going to be a new year. I'm going to go out and lose weight, right? And these Slimming World companies, they go, they rub their hands, right, and they're thinking, oh well, this is it. Then halfway through, they give up.
3-ish weeks.
Oh, is that what they call it?
Well, no, about 3 weeks. People are like, I can't do this anymore. And they can't do it because dieting is hard. Because you're reducing the food intake. You're not giving your body the food it needs. And it's driving cravings. And that is the problem with dieting, full stop.
Do you think it's lazy? Do you think it's laziness that people are kind of not, instead of going down the healthy route and kind of like eating, properly, they're kind of lazy, they're not?
No, I don't think they know what healthy is. People believe healthy to be whole grain food. They believe healthy is only consuming a certain amount of calories and making sure that they consume whole grain food. I mean, the National Dietary Guideline, we're told to consume 6 to 11, or advised to consume 6 to 11 portions of starchy-based food per day. And it's those foods that cause your blood sugar to rise. It's those foods that cause your body to release insulin, which stashes all of that food, stashes it away as body fat. And so the general public are actually completely unaware that this is happening, that it's happening to them. They just don't know, because the food companies are driving They are in charge. They're advising you to eat these foods because you can lose weight, it's good for your health, It's not. And it's not until someone sits down and does their own research, they will find that out. So, as I said, it's not going to change soon unless people get a grip of themselves and take the bull by the horns and look into it, find out for themselves exactly what's going on when they eat the food. It's the effect of the food. What's Hayley saying? Agree, it's really hard to lose weight for an operation. I don't know how I did it. Oh, so have you done it, Hayley? Is that what that means? You've done it, but it was hard. Losing weight by dieting is hard. It is, because you've got that roller coaster ride of energy and cravings, and it's hard to fight that. And especially if you've come to the end of your calorie count and you're not able to have any more food, what do? You're like, I'm really hungry, because diet food doesn't keep you full for very long. You know, it's low in fat. You know, fat is one of the most satiating nutrients. So everything's low calorie, everything's low fat. Your body isn't getting enough food. You're starving yourself basically on a diet, and it's not easy.
It's like now, isn't it? Boris is bringing this new obesity thing in, isn't he? Did you hear about that? What he's bringing
Remind me, have we spoken about it before? Is this something else?
Something else where, you know, like what he's going to do, you've got to kind of like, he's going to do some funding or something, and you got to go buy healthy food. You're not allowed to have any unhealthy food.
I don't understand how that's going to work though, because it is the healthy food that is causing people weight gain.
Wow.
I mean, Hayley's scampi and peas there, she might have had low-fat scampi, you know, baked in the oven, low-fat. What about the sugar spike? What about the breadcrumb bits? And it might be whole grain breadcrumbs, low in fat, whole grain. Bang, sugar spike. That isn't being addressed, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I know. But see, the trouble is, see, what you've got to realise is that the government are saying, you know, that they're going to help these obesity people who've got obesity, but you cannot change somebody. We were talking about it the other day, Liz. You cannot change anybody if they don't want to change themselves.
Well, that's completely true. That is completely true. I mean, it's hard to help someone change if, number one, you don't address their habits, full stop. But if they don't want to change, you're never going to do it. It's never going to work. What are they going to do? Feed you, pin you in?
Yeah.
Going out?
Yeah.
That won't work. If somebody isn't ready to make that difference to themselves, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So what you're going to do? What can we do then if we go to a supermarket, right? And we want to kind of like pick some foods that we want. Like most people, right? I think it's around about like 70% out of the shoppers, they actually go for these ready-made meals, especially the old people, right? And they get told it's healthy, but it's not.
No, because as well as, you know, you've got refined oils in there. You've got crappy quality oils. You've got preservatives, additives. I mean, without any doubt, if someone's coming from a really poor diet of McDonald's every day, you know, these meals are going to be better, but they aren't the answer.
No.
Some education, if they could just educate the nation on healthy food, but that won't happen because of that the big four and that circle.
Yeah.
You know, they're all involved with each other, and that isn't going to happen anytime soon.
Oh yeah, I don't know what Boris is on about. Ailey says, yes, I did it, and I had to see my dietitian.
Right, okay. Yeah, so I was going to ask Ailey if she found dieting, was it hard? Was it hard to do? And I wouldn't mind betting she's going to say, yeah, because of the kind of foods. Because it's the certain food should be coming out of someone's diet, not just reduce it. Certain food should come out for a diet to be easy, a diet to be effortless. And that's why, well, taking certain foods out of it, gradually take them out, it makes weight loss effortless. And that's the thing. A diet is so much effort goes into a diet, physically, mentally, counting, weighing, physical exhaustion because you're not able to have enough food.
Yeah, I had a lot of salad with mine, Haley said.
Well, that brilliant. That is good. To have salad is brilliant. And yes, some scampi is probably likely to be a lot better than maybe a whole pizza or fish and chips. Most definitely is going to be, but you still have that problem with a spike.
Yeah.
And that spike and that slump is going to drive cravings later. See how you feel later, Haley. If you get any cravings later on, the chances are it's the bread around the scampi that's driving that.
Yeah. I want to touch on another subject, but let's come off the supermarket stuff. I want to talk about people who go for going to hospital for weights, for operations, for gastric band-for operations.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's my thing at the moment. I've got a thing about it where people go into hospital, right? They go through what they're doing at the moment in every hospital. They're doing what you call a weight loss course.
Okay.
Right. So what they do is you've got to go. If it wasn't the corona on, you have to go there, sit in the class, and they teach you about healthy eating food. Right. Then they expect you to practice it when you get home. Right. And after a while, you get weighed and whatever, and you keep going back every 2 weeks, whatever, get weighed, and it continues. Right? If that's fine, at the end of the course, you are then got to go to a psychiatrist to see if you're in the right frame of mind for an op. That's fine. What pees me off, excuse my French, is when people go for an operation which is costing the government £30,000, by the way, the NHS, right? They go for an operation, they have a gastric band done, or whatever they have done, and next minute they come out of hospital thinking, right, this is it, I'm back on. Because after a while, at a certain period when they come out of hospital, they're on milkshakes, but then after that, they start eating again.
Yeah.
And that pees me right off.
Yeah, do you know the problem there though, Steve? Because they're not being helped with their habit. They're not being helped with that, and they're still under the they're still not really educated about the effects of food. Then they don't know what that food is doing. But no one has helped them with their habit. Have they been on a habit changing program? It's very unlikely.
Yeah, it's so difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it is difficult, and it's difficult for the person who's had that operation to suddenly, well, it's not suddenly because obviously you've got the diet classes, but to then expect them to take on a completely new diet without changing their habits, without having any help in improving their eating habits, it's difficult.
So with you then, what advice would you give somebody now, if somebody's listening, who wants to lose weight? How do you, with your business, how do you give advice?
Yeah, without any doubt, they need to get themselves like an accountability partner, like someone that they can be accountable to. You can't be accountable to yourself because you can sneak food in, and if you don't have to tell anyone, you can sneak a chocolate bar in, or no one will know because I'm not accountable to them. They have to get themselves an accountability partner. So Haley knows Wayne, they know each other. those two could be accountability partners. They also need to work on changing their habits, like you've been doing, Steve. Take one bad habit and replace it with a better one.
Yeah.
That takes time, but you're not going to do it. If you suddenly take everything away, you're going to really miss it. So you need to start working on changing your habits. You need support and you need guidance. And those four things together, you're more likely to be successful. There are some people that could have all of that, but still not be successful because they don't want it. But if you've got support, certainly if you've got guidance first, you've got support, you've got an accountability partner, and you've got, what else did I say? A way of changing habits, working on your habits. That's a big thing.
How does your plan work then? If somebody comes to you today and says, Liz, how does your plan work?
Yeah, they get an accountability program straight away, and I can see everything they do every day. I can see what they do, and I can also see what they don't do. So, and I can watch how they feel. They get to rate their moods. Are they happy? Are they down? What about their energy? Have they got lots of energy or low energy? What's their sleep like? And I monitor that. So I get a little graph that goes up and down. And suddenly, if it hits rock bottom, I know, well, okay, I need to step in here because they're not having a good time. But they are accountable to me. I get to see everything they eat. And every single week, they get to work on one achievable habit. And every day they get to rate how did they do with their habit. And it's the accountability to themselves. It's working on their habit. That's their work. But I guide them and I support them when I can suddenly see, bang. That's when I step in and say, okay, what's going on? Let's look back. What did you eat yesterday? Your cravings are really high today. What did you eat yesterday? Because that probably triggered your cravings today. So I can watch their mood. I can see how they do.
I've got some messages here from Facebook today. And Roger says, Liz, I've watched you a few times, but do you believe that Slimming World works? Because I've been going with Slimming World now for 6 months and I only lost 1 stone. Does Slimming World work?
Well, this goes back to the counting calories. Slimming World still allow you to consume the foods which contributed to your weight gain in the first place. So each time you have their wholemeal bagel for breakfast, sugar rises, insulin in the system, stashes it away as body fat. You're still allowed to consume far too much carbohydrate, and you're filling up your carbohydrate tanks, and anything over and above will get stored as body fat. And you need to bring the carbohydrate count down. But Slimming World don't do that. Again, it's all about the calories.
Okay.
It's about the quality matters more than the quantity.
Okay. Bill says, hi Liz, nice listening to you. My name's Bill, I am 56. I have lost 5 stone in the last 2 months or so. I have been going to Weight Watchers, but I have stopped. I've been following your plan online, and was listening to you the other week with Steve. Would it be possible if can I have some details, because I'd like to join your plan, because that's it. Because
Bill, you'd be great to jump into our membership club then, wouldn't he, Steve? Because that runs the same. I don't do one program about any of them 4 things. Every program I do has those 4 things in it. Because you take one of them out, it can be a struggle. So Weight Watchers are kind of the same as Slimming World, aren't they? And
I'll send you, Bill. What I'll do is I'll send you a link later later tonight when I come off my other podcast. Then what I'll do is we're having a big meeting tomorrow anyway, and you can join in with that because I can see that your BMI is actually the same as mine. So we can I'll talk about that later on, and Liz would join us tomorrow anyway. So that'd be around about 2.
Yeah, that'd be fab. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what to do.
yeah,
You know, if people start reaching out to you, Steve, and inquiring, you could get them in your wee group,
yeah.
and then we can introduce the membership club to them.
I will do. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because that'd be great. It would. I would love it if got some of your people all together in this wee membership club and work on, effortless weight loss. Because
yeah.
you've been reducing stuff, and you've noticed a difference in your cravings, haven't you, Steve?
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to eat. I used to eat lots of chocolate. I was addicted to it. Addicted to Galaxy, and I could eat 2 bars of chocolate if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I actually, trouble is, it's addiction is when you're addicted to food. You've got to be so careful. You just can't come off it. You've got to do it gradually.
That doesn't work.
And with
That's
the chocolate, I'm on like my wife is really strict now because what she does is she actually gives me the chocolate and it's squares, and I think I'm on my 4th piece of chocolate, and when that goes, that's it for me. You know what I mean?
It.
Well, of course it is. It's like World War II in my house.
But you have to, don't you? You have to start making a difference. Yeah. And if you don't make a difference, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've got to make a difference whatever you do. You know what I mean?
I've gone all blurred. I don't know what that is. Keeps doing that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, all of my programs, I always watch what habit people set themselves, because if they suddenly say, right, that's it, I'm never having biscuits again, I'm like, no, that's not an achievable goal. That's not going to work. And then when you do blow it and have some biscuits, you feel like crap and you give yourself a hard time, and then you go off the rails. So it's always about slowly gradual reduction of those foods. So I would say to some people, or my people, okay, only have some biscuits in the afternoon. Don't have them in the morning, but have what you would normally have in the afternoon. And straight away, you're cutting down, but you're not taking them out completely.
I used to be. Some people don't realise, but I used to be addicted to cheese.
Oh, right? Did you?
Oh yeah. Cheese and pickled onions. You ask my wife. I used to love it. I used to have the pickled onions with the cheese and everything. And the cheese was coming to me like that. Glory, you know what I mean? But now it's just kind of like, I don't care about the cheese no more. Okay, I'll have the pickled onion. Because I love pickled onion.
Yeah.
But, it's certain foods that you've got to watch.
Yeah, and it's usually the foods which raise your blood sugar.
Yeah.
And it isn't the fact that they raise your blood sugar. It's just all of a sudden your blood sugar plummets.
Yeah.
And it's that drives the cravings.
And also, people don't understand is when I get it, because it's where you're on a lot of medication, which I am on. And if you're eating the wrong foods, your blood sugar will go up and you're out of it for the rest of the day. It's like you're on drugs or something.
Yeah, because it's interacting. The high blood sugar's interacting with your meds.
Yeah. So, you've got to be so careful.
You do. I mean, this roller coaster spiking all day long, it's so bad for you. It's causing so much inflammation, and it's terrible. You've got cortisol racing around your system, your hormones all over the joint, you've got cravings going on. It's hard. It's really, really hard. But until you start all those hormones, until you start stabilizing those, leveling them off, it's going to be a really hard ride. And that's why diets even a diet, Slimming Club, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, you've still got a lot of hormonal chaos going on. Your body doesn't know when it's satisfied. You know, it doesn't know when your body's hungry because your hormones are all over the joint.
Right.
Hormonal damage, blood sugar, insulin, all over the place.
Yeah, I know it's difficult.
And
Isn't it?
and you have to start bringing them down to start stabilizing your hormones. Then your hormones are able to look after you the way they should be. But at the moment, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's why dieting's so hard, because your hormones are still all out of sorts.
My wife left me a message here. Hang on. Liz, is eating too much pickled onion and pickled eggs bad for you?
No, not really. Certainly not from. How many are you eating?
How many are you eating, Michelle?
Nothing to do with me.
I know.
I don't know, about 6 a day, 8
Oh,
a day.
that's not right.
I don't know, but
Or 6 jars.
no, not 6 jars. But I have got the jar. The jar is like that. You know when you go to a fish and chip
Fish
shop.
and chip shop.
Yeah, you got a jar like that in you. Well, I've got the jar of pickled onions like that, a jar of pickled eggs like that.
That'd be all right. Vinegar's it can actually help with weight loss. Actually, vinegar.
Can it?
Yeah. I can't remember why. I'll get back to you about it, but it can. It kind of triggers something.
10 on each. You're funny. I love you, Shelton. I think actually my wife. I think my wife is right there, because I do eat a lot of pickled eggs and pickled onions, and I do suffer with wind a lot too.
Okay. Well, onions are a right. They are a FODMAP food, and this is an assortment of carbohydrates which some people find very, very difficult to break down. And onions and garlic are kind of high on the list. Undigestible fibers, so that can give you the bottom burps.
But isn't garlic healthy?
Yeah, and onions are fine, but some people find it really difficult to break down the particular fibers in onions and garlic, and it can cause a bit of mischief.
All right.
Yeah, they're healthy. Just they contain foods which contain fibers, that the body finds it difficult to break down.
God, I can't eat. Oh, I realise that.
Is it the pickled onions that's doing it? I mean, let's not get too,
Well,
pickled onions.
I'm being honest. Yeah, the pickled onions do it, but it's a pickled. I love pickled eggs. And she said to me, my wife said to me, as soon as it's gone, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
And she means it. So, like, I've got, like, I don't know much out there now, but soon it's gone, it's gone. She's looking at me now thinking, because she knows I will say, can I have another jar? And she would turn around to me and say, no, that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, so Michelle's got quite good control over your food, which for you, Steve, is really helpful.
Yeah,
you might not think it.
Yeah.
It's really helpful.
Yeah. But the trouble is, addiction, though. Sorry, we've got the last 10 minutes. Addiction, though, can be really hard with food, or can it? You know, if you're addicted to food.
Addicted to all food, then that needs specialised help. I've said this before. But if you are addicted to a certain food, certainly you could start to wean yourself off it. Not a lot, so it's noticeable, but just you slowly bring it down. And it is doable. It takes a fair amount of time, but it's certainly doable. And again, it all goes back to that why that I keep talking about. Why do you want to do it? And that's why you need to know why. You need to want to make a difference. And you will. If you want to make a difference, you will.
Yeah. What I want to talk about next week is we're coming up to Christmas, right? And if we're all kind of like on the diet and everything, how do we kind of like survive through Christmas? Because that's when all the chocolates come out, all the foods come out. That's no good. How
But the
do we?
nuts come out.
Well,
I
you love nuts,
noticed.
didn't you?
What?
Didn't you say that you love nuts, love peanuts or something once?
Uh, you can have nuts in shells. You need to watch the coating on like dry roasted peanuts and things like that. But I was in
Did you say? Did you say that my wife is a nut? Nut in shell.
Is it what?
You said nut in shell.
Oh, not in shell.
Nut. Oh, okay, don't I?
Yeah, no, I didn't get that.
No, don't.
Jokes, Steve. Jokes go way over the top of my head. But I was
Okay.
in the supermarket on Tuesday and they've already got the Christmas nuts out. So there's snacks.
Yeah.
Christmas
Well,
nuts.
yeah.
Saturdays. Are your
So
Christmas
what are we
food?
going to do? What we're going to do? How are we going to survive through Christmas?
Don't buy the food. I mean, why buy a load of Christmas food? Why have Christmas log, Christmas cake, mince pies, Christmas pudding? Why buy all of that stuff just because it's Christmas?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, don't, have a couple of treats, but don't, why buy all of that food just because of the time of year? I wondered where he was. There he is.
Mm.
Just had your tea, had beans and sausage on toast with a glass of fruit juice. Okie dokie. Was it nice? Did you enjoy it? I always tell my guys as well to be mindful about what you eat. And they're like, mindful about eating, mindful eating. Goodness, what's this now? It's really
Mm.
important to take in and enjoy your food. Take your
Yeah.
time. Don't sit there watching telly and all of a sudden you realise you've eaten your dinner.
Yeah.
Plain. It's not the best because it was toast and there were beans and the fruit juice is very, very high in sugar, but it's better than McDonald's. It's better than a takeaway. So in that sense, it's better. But
Yeah.
it would have been better if you'd have had the sausages with maybe some stir-fried veggies, something like that, and maybe a nice cup of tea.
Yeah.
Orange juice. That's the thing. You see, everything's loaded with sugar now.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
know.
told, fruit juice is healthy for you. You'll be told that, but it's really high in sugar.
Yeah. I'll get told that. I'll get told that fruit juice is good for me and orange juice is good for me and
Yeah.
all sorts. But really, it's not. But the trouble
No.
is, so I think we've got to be educated really and read the labels, isn't we?
Well,
Read what's on the
yeah.
box.
Ideally, be educated on how a food affects your blood sugar. Because once you know how food affects your blood sugar, you can take back control like that.
Mm.
But who's going to educate you? Won't be the food companies, that's for sure.
No, the food companies want your money.
That's
See
right.
what my wife has said. Has she said anything else? Oh, you haven't said anything else then. All right then. She gets us. She's sneaky. She gets a message in now and again without me seeing. But what I'm trying she's laughing. But what I'm trying to say, is how are we going to cope with Christmas? It's going to be really hard, isn't it? So that's what I want to look at next week.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't say anything now. Then we'll save that for next week.
All right. So anyway, thank you very much again, Liz.
You're
Goes so quick.
welcome.
It goes so quick, doesn't it?
I know. I love how we chat, Steve.
Yeah, so do I. I think we should do it for about 6 hours or so. Till 2 o'clock in the morning or something.
Steve, I'd never survive.
I know that.
I'd never.
After 8 o'clock, he falls asleep.
I know. Ideally, you need to get me before 4 or 5 o'clock to get the best out of me. Otherwise, it's starting to go down. I'm getting ready for bed.
Do you remember that time when I first had you on and was it 9 o'clock? Was it 9 o'clock?
We did do a 9 o'clock one once because you had a guest. You had a guest on.
Yeah, and you were the guest falling asleep.
Honestly, I'm really, because I get up so early.
Yeah.
Come late afternoon, I'm starting to wind down.
What's this about Wayne? Yes,
Not
it was really nice.
Stone. We're doing this dance I found on TikTok. I've been using. Wayne, brilliant. Well done. The dancing is fantastic, and it lifts your spirits. So that is
Yeah.
excellent. I'm really pleased, and you need to keep your spirits up.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Oh, Wayne, post it below under Steve's video. Let's see what you're doing. Maybe we can all join in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Really well done. Half a stone. Good work.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We can all paste it underneath, and we can all do it.
Yeah, go on. I've been
film
doing Jerusalem. I don't know if anyone knows of that, but I've been doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can post it on
Google
Facebook
it,
then.
Steve. It's brilliant. It's really good. Google it. Shall I pop a link under the video?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Not for me.
Yeah. You've got to kind of like hang up a second.
I'll record it then. I'll record a video and pop it down, pop it below.
Okay, then don't forget to do that.
No, I won't.
Right, okay, folks. I've got another guest for 8:30, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go and have a break. Thank you, Liz.
Bye, guys. Bye, Wayne. Bye, Hayley. Bye, Bill. Was Bill live?
Yes, she was.
Bye, Bill.
Didn't you see the Can't you see the names on your?
No, I've only seen Wayne and Hayley.
All right, okay. Because I get Facebook too, so it goes on Facebook. Have a look on Facebook.
Will do.
Get all the names, all right?
Yeah. Okay then. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, Liz. There you go. Thank you very much, and take care. I'll see you around about 8:30 tonight. Where we got Elvis Presley, baby. You know what I mean. See you later, alligator.